First of all, I want to talk about the Cybertruck. We have to talk about what a horrendous embarrassment this fucking truck is.
I'm seeing those fucking...
And like, look, sometimes when a new car comes out, like when the new Vets hit the road, I was like, all right, okay, all right. Yeah. And first time I saw Cybertruck, because I saw it, I went to the premiere and I watched them break the windows, and then I saw him, but you didn't see him on the road. There was lights and lasers and shit, and you're like, okay. I saw it on the road and I'm like, this is horrendous.
That's what I thought. What is this fucking boulder that's just driving? It looks like, is there an avalanche coming? That just looks like a shitty...
Did the Matrix just go to pixels? Fuck. It's horrible.
Right. It looks like a space rock on the Jetsons or something. It is so... I have never had a vehicle make me feel shame and embarrassment for the person driving it. Whenever it's so cringy, because it's so ostentatious and so look at me and so embarrassing that I actually avoid eye contact with the car. When I see it coming, I'm like...
That's because it hurts your eyes. That's why.
Listen, when I see a guy with truck nuts, I think that guy's got a small penis. When I see him driving a Cybertruck, I say, you have no penis. Like, why are you driving it?
It's a micro for sure.
What is it about that truck?
That's why you drive little hatchbacks.
My God, my Prius is amazing, as I said in my own show. But I want to talk about so here's what I don't get about it. As I said, it makes me yearn for the horrendous design of the Pontiac Aztek, because at least that had a curve on it.
It is the modern Aztek. You called that 100%.
Pontiac Aztek, it's the worst. I've never seen, and everything about it is wrong. I watched a half-hour thing on a guy who bought one, and he was selling it. He said he was selling it, and he didn't care because Elon Musk made you sign a thing that you couldn't sell it, that you had to actually, they could sue you if you sold it within a year. Wow. And be clear, I want to be very clear. We have 2 Tesla Model S's, 2. We have the Tesla solar roof on our home. Mm-hmm. We are fans, not of Elon Musk. I think the guy's a twat.
Yeah.
But the vehicle, and that's why I want to talk about I want to talk about electric vehicles, because there's this thing going on about electric vehicles I want to clear up. Anyway, so why would you take... Like, you literally could do anything with electric platforms. You don't have to put the drive line in. Like when they do a car design, right? They have to put the engine goes here. That's got to connect to the rear end. Then they do drawings of how we're seats and then people, and then they have to build the car around those specific things. Yeah. Like, you have to actually. I've seen, because Chip Foose is a friend of mine. I've seen him do it. He did a couple of design things for Ford, and they had to put up. Okay, these are the specs that has to fit this many people. Yeah. Here's what the bodies look like. Here's how tall. Here's the average height.
It's like an organic process to go through that, and not like a fucking 80s arcade polygon.
Right, exactly. But you have to design it around it. Well, on an electric car, the batteries are in the bottom. There's 2 tiny motors in front and back. You could do anything. Yeah. You could, around the car, you could make it the coolest thing you've ever seen, as long as you do the safety things. And I look at this thing, and they said that because of it's stainless steel, it has no crumple zones,
which are just plates, though, right? They're just plates slapped on, right?
No. They actually. So he invented So he had this. It's this process where it's built like a. They have to fold this steel.
Okay. It looks like it.
But then some of it is just slapped on. Yes, but the basic of the basic frame is like folded in this giant machine. But listen, if you're going to try and do new tech, don't just do it to fucking do it. Do it because it's better. Yeah. This car is not better. This guy was talking about it. I was watching the YouTube video, and he was like, here's all the things I hate about it. And you can't take it off road. The crumple zone sucks. They should crash test of it. And I was like, I'm going to die in that.
We've got 100 years of beautiful car designs.
Yes.
That you could get inspired from. And of the best of the best.
And with the Tesla S, he did. There's Jaguar in it. There's Mustang in it. There's a little bit of Ferrari in it. There's it's got hips on it. Like that
was before Elon Musk, though. Wasn't that design before he got in?
Franz, the guy, the designer at Tesla, is really great. And like the other, but so Musk came in, and I almost like someone said that his kid drew a picture, and he goes, I want to do a truck like that, Daddy. Yeah. And that's the square.
He said that.
Is that true?
Yeah, I read that too.
Ugh.
Get the fuck out of here.
His son. But I actually assumed when I read that it was one of his older sons, like the one that works with him. I didn't realize it was
the 4-year-old.
That makes so much sense.
It looks like
actually.
it's an unfinished like CAD drawing. You know what I mean? Like they just kind of.
It doesn't even look like that. It looks like a child drew it and said, "Daddy, make this." And Daddy's a 200 billion, and that's what happened. So here's what I want to say about electric cars. Now you got to understand, people. I wrote for a hot rod magazine for 5 years. I am a 100% ICE motor badass. How fast can it go? How cool can it look? And I love the. I'm a drag racing fan. Tony Schumacher's a good friend of mine. When it comes to hot rodding and badass cars, not only that, but I just built one. The wagon, you can put a picture of right here. I just built this. I have a 65 Corvette, 8 feet that way. I've had 13. At one point during when I had the TV show, I had 13 cars. I've had Foose built me a hot rod.
You did.
I had Ford Woodies.
Yeah.
I am a hot rod guy.
You had Z06, three different
Z06 Corvettes.
Viper.
I was getting another what?
Dodge Viper.
I had a Dodge Viper. I love hot rods. Love fast cars. Here's what I will tell you. I have lived for 7 years with a Tesla Model S. Here's what I will tell you. Now, here's the problem with ICE cars. You got to change the oil. You got to change transmission.
Does ICE mean gas cars?
Internal combustion engine.
Oh, interesting. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Cars.
So
your brother.
Oh, by the way,
is the GTO an ICE car?
This girl has a GTO internal combustion engine. Yes.
Yeah,
fire. Don't tap me.
That was
it was cool until I got.
It was the cutest girl. It was the cutest girl that you ever heard.
Dummy.
Is the GTO a nice car?
No, I said, is it a nice car?
Yeah. Both.
Look nice looking to the camera, by the way. So here's what I'll say. I have lived with this car for 7 years now, and I have to be honest with you. Over time, an ICE car, even whatever truck I've had, by the way, Rams, 5.7 Hemis. All my trucks have had Hemis in them. Here's what I've noticed. Over 7 years, the only thing I've had to maintain on this electric car, the only thing is tires.
And your integrity.
No. Yeah, and they forced me to rollerblade.
Your shame.
I had to become a rollerblader. That's the only thing I don't like. And I'm riding a scooter half the time. No, but
I've never replaced anything.
But here's the thing. So what I did with my ICE car, with my ICE cars, I always customize them. With the Tesla, with the electric car, it's harder to do it. I put lowering links on it. I've lowered it. It's got a nice set of wheels on it.
Which is why you've had to replace your tires
because I got a little wider. Yeah. And the suspension. It's got independent suspensions. It's all it's based on Mercedes. So it rides great. And I was driving it to work today because I've been thinking people go, "Oh, they're so expensive." Well, my Tesla Model S, which we paid a lot for because we were early adopters, because the reason I bought it was not because I'm a liberal and I want to get, oh my God, I have to get that Tesla because I'm typing that.
And drove one. And you were like, holy shit.
I have a buddy that works at Tesla. They took me for a ride and I went like, oh my God, my Z06 Corvettes couldn't keep up with it.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Yeah.
And I don't have the high performance one.
That's our thing in the house. I'll always say, can I beat that Lamborghini? And he'll go, yep. Off the line, yep. Can I beat that Ferrari? Yeah. Yes, off the line. There's one car I can't.
To the quarter mile, you can beat them. The quarter mile, yeah.
Because there's no lag time.
Yeah,
so
the torque's incredible.
In an ICE car,
nice.
When you hit the accelerator, like when I had my Mercedes, this is such a white conversation. But
when I had my Mercedes, you have to say
it had seat massagers. When I had my Mercedes, and it was a fast car, but I would hit the accelerator and it would. Tesla, you hit it and it just goes. I mean, it's crazy
because the motor has to rev up, has to get to the. It makes
the fuel injection has to get into the catheters.
Right, okay,
the ICE process.
You are cute as a button.
And pop
the fuel injection. Let me tell you,
into the catheters.
I'm going to hear about that
and pop.
Trust me, there's going to be an argument about patting her.
No, I don't mind. About cars, he knows everything about cars.
Yes.
Literally, I have never known anyone to know more about one thing in my life. When I first met him, he pops off the most insane. He has to, I know I'm dumb about it because he has to practice with me what I say when people ask me about the GTO. I think I have it. It's an original 242 car, but it's got a 7455.
Yay!
Is that right?
That is a nice car.
I almost said 454, but it was 455.
454 Chevy. 455 is Pontiac.
Whenever I've driven Titus around for something, and like Tesla or whatever, and he'll be in the passenger side, and I'm like, I have to merge. I'm pulling away, and he'll go hit it, and I'm like,
same with
this
me.
is a Corolla, son. With a hybrid engine.
Yep.
It's like.
Yeah, you have a hybrid.
It's not that. It's that he likes to direct from the passenger seat. And I am not kidding. He, many times in the time that I have known him, has told me, turn right. And it's our driveway. So it's just what he does.
But the Tesla will make you drive differently because it's that torque.
Well,
you can
also the braking.
You can also,
I can go and stop really fast.
Well, to his credit, Elon Musk owned a McLaren, one of the early McLarens. What he did was the speed, how fast it was, and how it would brake. He said this car, this 4-door passenger car, has to match what my McLaren does. And it does. So when you guys talk about it's too expensive, well, so it's cheaper than an Audi. The Tesla S Model S, the loaded one, even the Plaid is less right now than an Audi.
Isn't it 40,000 now?
No. Yeah, the 3s and stuff, the 3s and the Ys, yeah.
And then how much are the smaller ones?
The smaller ones are like I think
20 something, right?
Used ones you can get them for 20 grand. So, but here's what I'll tell you.
And by the way, used means nothing with Tesla.
No,
they
that's
will go
what I know.
forever.
By the way, that's what I noticed. The motors and the batteries. I've had a little bit of degradation in 7 years on my battery. It went from 335 miles of range to 300 miles of range. I've never had that high. And here's what I will tell you. Because you don't have that many miles on yours.
I never had that many miles of range.
Yeah, you did 335. You had the same exact
When
miles.
I got mine, when I would charge it, it was 328 was my thing, but it has gone down now.
Yeah, yours is still 315 or 309 or something. Yeah. So, but that you've had yours 5 years. Here's what I'll say about this car. So gas costs $5 a gallon in California, right? It's insane. You have a hybrid and you're still pissed.
Oh yeah.
He has a hybrid. Yes. He's like, this thing gets 60 and fuck. So when I go fill my truck up, it's $150 to fill my truck up. Yeah. The Tesla, we bought a charger for the house. If you have a home, now I get it. If you have live in an apartment, it's going to be more of a bitch. But maybe you can get the apartment to install a charger downstairs.
A lot of them have now.
Yeah, so it's 13 cents a kilowatt. So I have a 100 kilowatt car, so it costs $13 to fill my car up to go 300 miles.
I like to think of it as zero.
Yeah, because it just goes in your electric bill. But you don't. But so we the way we're doing, and if you have solar in your house, it's basically free, really.
Yeah, we do have solar, so that's why I like to think of it. The thing is, and people do complain about it, but like our buddy Mikey, who runs Brea, he got one out because we were
got a 3 or a Y.
Yeah, we were so Tesla crazy, and he was like, "Oh, I can't afford it. I got a kid, man." So he goes and gets one of the Y, I think, right? Yeah. And
he got the little SUV. Yeah, the Y.
It's really, really cute. And he was like, I started getting texts like, "Oh my God, Rachel." And this thing even drives in snow. He drove it to Big Bear. So no maintenance. I don't get oil changes. No hoses, no belts. Gas, no belt, no nothing. I've had it 5 years. I have done
no
that
radiator
much
blowing out. No, the one thing. So there's a 12-volt battery, a little normal battery that powers up certain things. On her car, we've had that happen twice. And I've
never had it,
and I've never had it on my car, but I've replaced it.
Obviously, a problem. With
yeah,
but that's all cars have that.
Something in battery.
He replaces
but also
that.
and also it updates over the air. Now other companies are starting to do that now, but all of a sudden you'll turn it on one day and you're like, oh,
it does.
This is better now. This does
my
new
car's
stuff.
red now. What?
Yeah.
It also has amazing tech that stops and stuff. And by the way, Elon Musk is a douchebag.
Really
I got to say
he's
that.
Very unfortunate.
He needs to stop talking because the product is so good.
Yeah.
Except for the Cybertruck. Please. He said when he designed the Cybertruck, he came out and he goes, "This may not be everybody's cup of tea, and if it doesn't work, I am going to we'll make a new kind of truck." I would love to see what they really did. If they could do a truck like they did the Model S or the Model Y or something like that, I would probably buy that truck.
His is 7 years old. Mine is 5, and so I just want to make it clear that we got them before he
was a douchebag, before he lost his shit.
Utter douchebag and bought Twitter and allowed racist people a platform. Yeah,
he's still doing it,
and that's why now he
wants to get Trump elected.
It's kind of embarrassed. He met with him a few weeks ago.